Scoreline makes it sound easy, but it wasn't. You had to work very hard for that.
Of course, I could not say it differently. It's Premier League, but I think we behaved really well. Of course, the second half was much better. The first 15-20 minutes were really good, and after we dropped our game to play.
2 own goals, particularly when they're both from the same player. I mean, they could have shinned out for a corner just as easily.
Well, they're the fine margins, of course, and the fine margins of today were, it was always we're going to need it to ride our luck at times. I thought we was more than that, to be quite honest with you. Like I said, I thought for the first part of this game, 60-70 minutes, we were right in it, and I thought we showed our quality. We was brave, courageous at times.
Player of the match performance from Doku, he was excellent today.
Yeah, in a games like a low block, this is massively important because to drop the teams, this is making decisions is even better and better and better. So all the goals, most of them came from there. So yeah, really pleased for the game he played.
Well, for 60-70 minutes, says Scott Parker, Burnley acquitted themselves well and they were right in the game. The trouble is, over 90 minutes, Manchester City's quality showed, Micah.
Exactly that, and Doku was the best player on the pitch. But I just want to look at the little differences here. I'm just slowing it down here. Look at his first touch. His first touch is going to go forward. Normally he would play it back there. So now he's got Kyle Walker on the back foot. I've been in this position here. You want him to take the touch inside so he can get set. He doesn't allow him to get set. Now he's got Kyle Walker exactly where he wants him. And the good thing about Doku here, he attracts players across to him that leaves space for others to get into the box. As we roll it on here, he gets a little bit fortunate, but the manager mentions end product, and that's it, being involved. Again, hanging out. He wants to go in this 1v1 situation. How many times have we talked about Man City wingers just playing back, playing the safe ball? No, he was positive. He wanted to go line, and then, okay, cross wasn't amazing, but he gets his cross in. Again, against Kyle Walker, it was a really good decision making and making the difference. Kyle Walker doesn't know where to go because he can go both ways, and he picks out Haaland with a wonderful ball. And this season his improvement has been excellent, and these are just the stats from the game. He's first in absolutely everything, and if he can continue this form, he's going to have a really good season, because a lot of people have not been sure about him, but he's really playing well this season so far.
Burnley will be glad to have this fixture out the way for the time being, at least. In the last 14 meetings between the two sides, it's now an aggregate score of 51-3 to Manchester City. Wolves.
OK, well, after late disappointment against Arsenal last weekend, Manchester City were back in action against Burnley at the Etihad. Your commentators, Michael Brown and David Stowell.
For 70-odd minutes in this game today, I thought we was right in it, and I thought we caused some problems. We had to suffer at times, which we did. I thought we executed game plan and was really encouraged in that part of the game. Of course, they scored 2 quick goals, which I've seen many a time in terms of the quality. And then it's fair to say the back end of the game probably runs away from us a little bit, a couple of mistakes. And yeah, the scoreline's a scoreline, really. A bit disappointed regarding that.
Pep, congratulations, big win. I think that the scoreline makes it sound easy, but it wasn't. You had to work very hard for that.
Of course, I could not say it differently. It's Premier League. And Brighton, except the game against the Spurs, all the games, the title result was so tight. They defend really well, so compact, and transitions at long balls and second balls, they are really good. But I think we behaved really well. Of course, the last lately 2 goals, you know, but the second half was much better. The first 15-20 minutes were really good, and after we dropped our game to play.
Yeah, Manchester City with the big win in the end, but as Pep Guardiola said then, Darren, they were made to work for it. They got off to the perfect start, but then when Burnley equalised, it didn't look a foregone conclusion, did it?
No, it didn't. It felt like some of the old demons from last season maybe were creeping in. Burnley done really well, but Manchester City just keep playing with the quality that they've got, and you know at some point they're going to create opportunities, and when you've got the likes of Doku's in the form that he's in, Phil Foden, Erling Haaland, who I'm sure we'll get to, they've always got an opportunity. And again, I thought it was Phil Foden's goal. It wasn't. It was an own goal, but it's Doku who's started off this season absolutely unbelievable. The final pass from him, his decision making now has been top draw this season.
Yeah, so Manchester City taking the lead then. Jadon Anthony got Burnley back into it, and at this point, Scott Parker said that they were executing the game plan. It looked like it was going to plan at this point.
Well, it was when they've equalised in the game, as Darren mentioned, and the foibles from last season might have been creeping in. Manchester City are. It's great to see Doku actually getting a run of games. Sometimes when he was playing well, it felt as if that he could go two consecutive games and then maybe get left out for another game for seemingly no reason. But he's getting a run of games now. He is definitely a handful. There's no question about it. And Foden is beginning to become the player that he certainly is. And the centre forward is the best centre forward in Europe, if not in the world.
Yeah, Nunes with a lovely strike there. Another own goal coming here for Estev. Not the best afternoon for him, but a word on Erling Haaland. We'll see his 2 goals in just a moment. It feels like people say he maybe didn't have the best season last year because Manchester City didn't. He still scored goals, but it looks like his form is peaking in tandem with City's, would you say?
Well, he looks like he's back to his best. I mean, he looks so sharp. I mean, this is not an easy finish, by the way. He's going away from goal. It's quite bobbly, it's quite scrappy, and he still gets a good contact on it and just guides it past the goalkeeper. I mean, he's already got 8 Premier League goals this season. He's 4 clear, I think Jadon Anthony's second, so he's clear. He's had no penalties either.
And 15 for club and country this season.
Honestly, his numbers, we expected from him, and even this finish here, anticipation, just a composure where he goes ice cold just before he finishes and just rolls it into the corner. I mean, he's, as Martin said there, he's one of the best in the world for sure, if not the best.
Yeah, and Manchester City will have seen that Liverpool result today, I imagine, and smiled, because we can talk about Arsenal being buoyed for their trip to Newcastle as well. But Manchester City know how to win the Premier League. Do they look like they're back to your peak, as Darren mentioned?
Right. They've lost some really important players, and I feel there's a little bit of fragility about them, that they have still yet to overcome. It's early in the season as well too, and they're getting some really good results. In terms of them being able to score goals, I do think that they can do that. I'm just slightly concerned that they might be a wee bit fragile at the back. Having said this here, you're absolutely right. One of the best managers of all time, knows how to win the Premier League.
And also, I guess, what they've done, we spoke about Manchester United not sorting out their goalkeeper situation. It appeared that Pep Guardiola wanted to do that, and he's brought in one of the world's best and a winner.
I think when opportunities arise like that and you get the chance to sign one of the best goalkeepers on the planet, you have to take it. I feel for James Trafford because I'm a big fan of his.
Yeah.
When Donnarumma comes in, he makes big saves. And even the goal that Burnley scored today, it was a wicked deflection and nothing he could do about it. But you just feel like the fundamentals of being a goalkeeper, taking crosses, shot stopping, making saves, he's the best on the planet at that.